The Nerd or Not podcast is an irregularly aired show about games, movies, TV, comics, theme parks and anything else that floats our fandom. And now, here's your hosts, Jay, Bob, and Corey, the Cretans Guild.
Hello, Cretans, and welcome to episode 36 of the Nerd or Not podcast. And glory be, it's not just me. I have with me...
Who?
No, we're not going to do that joke again.
All right.
Fucking A. Goobs talked me into that one. Anyway, I'm Bob. I am the king of cringe.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah. That right there is Corey.
By the way, this should probably not be on the podcast if anyone from work is going to be watching.
Please, my own family doesn't watch this shit.
Yeah.
So, anyway, hey,
right.
you want to watch, hey, you're watching this shit, so hey, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are watching this or listening to it, because we're also available on iTunes, Google, and Podbean, and among other places I've recently discovered, thanks to our friends Crumb up in Canada. He just showed me, it's like, hey, you guys, you're available on, like, all these other platforms that they just basically steal it, or they don't really steal it. They take the RSS feed and they put it up on their site. So
Is it like an aggregator?
Kind of like that. It's not, if somebody doesn't like the way iTunes works or they don't like the way Google Play works, it's like a third option, which is really great because with my Android phone, if you ever try to play iTunes on this thing, you can't.
Right.
Won't happen. Google's like, I don't know what that is. What's iTunes? So he showed me there's this great app if you like podcasts that are only available on iTunes. You download this app, and it basically takes your feed. We're on it. He's on it. Whole bunch of other stuff is on it. Check it out. I'm plugging something without naming you what it is. That's the beauty of the internet and Google. Search that shit. You can find it.
So it's ethically challenging channels of access.
You know what? Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look it up because I've been touting it this whole time. I might as well. Okay, it's got a very difficult name. It's called Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict.
Yes,
Speaking of dead hookers.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Dead Hooker podcast from the Podcast Addict. How you doing? My name's Ed Gein.
Party of four.
What? Huh?
Oh, sorry, that's a wrong joke.
So you swear you've not touched a double shot Mai Tai.
I am not drinking this podcast. I swear. After what happened last time, I am not.
Because it became quite a hazard.
Yeah, I don't want. I already think I suffer from CTE from playing football back then.
Yeah.
And I say that, and I'm looking at all that alcohol over there.
So one thing or the other happened to you. Thankfully, your CTE doesn't manifest in, like, mass shooting suicides or anything. You just, like, threatened to light your farts on fire in a really nice restaurant.
Not yet, but there's always tomorrow.
Well, now that seed is planted, I will take no responsibility for that.
Well, that's getting cut. Yeah. I'd like to notify the FBI surveillance van that sits outside my car, my house, and monitors all my broadcasts.
You got a visual cue now. This is where you cut, so you know. All right.
Oh my God, Corey, I missed you.
Yeah. Welcome back to Random Town.
Hey, speaking of which,
population. Yep. Anyway,
it's cramped.
You were doing an intro. Do an intro. I'm sorry.
Intro's done. Oh, speaking of intro, did you hear Bridget, our new intro girl?
No.
You haven't?
Wait. Yes, I have. I'm sorry.
Yes, you have.
I'll just say no for the sake of introducing me to her.
Okay.
All right.
What? Give me your opinion. What do you like? You like it? You like her? She
fucking
work for you?
hot. Like, shh.
I thought that'd do something for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, once I heard that, I started hanging around my microwave a little bit too long today. And my microwave
Catch
started
the radiation.
beeping. Yeah, I think it was trying to get me away from it. You can cut this part out, too.
Maybe I'll just leave it all in. I don't know.
All right, well, you'll be seeing me at the therapist soon, and I'll be seeing you, I guess, in federal prison.
Yeah. I'll just be sitting there like the giggly bitch that I am.
Yep. So,
Perfect.
CTE, huh? Or whatever the hell it's called. What is it called again?
CTE? It's like
CTE.
concussion syndrome. I don't... Google it.
It's one initial away from what they call the public transportation up here. CTA, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Different,
I
yeah.
thought... Okay.
Yeah, a Bridget's nice.
Segway! No. Transit... No. Derail. No. What? I don't know. That I am cutting.
Yeah, just don't try to like justify it or rationalize it in any way, shape, or form. Down that road leads madness, and we're already mad enough.
Yeah, the rust is just falling off in chunks right now. We're just getting back into the groove.
Yeah,
we've been on a nice little hiatus. But we got something really special. I don't know why I'm swinging my arms around. You can't see this on a podcast.
It's very
unless you're watching us on YouTube.
Very dead Elvis.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. I think technically the dead Elvis is something like this, or
with a like he's
there's got to be like a
checking the prostate of somebody or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. This is the dead buddy Jesus.
No, he's got like a thumbs up.
Oh, that's
and
right.
he's
Yeah,
like,
wait.
Or is it like the thumbs up back here? And he's I don't.
This is also the archery move. Wait, right there. The archery move that you got to make in Skyward Sword in order to get anything to work properly. Because fuck that fucking game. I don't care like where that puts me on like the Nintendo fan evaluation scale. Skyward Sword, that didn't spend that. It needed to be in the hopper for just a little bit longer. But we'll talk about that later.
Hey, you want to talk about some cartoons?
Sure.
Yeah, we love ourselves some cartoons.
Boost
we
the
love them so
mood.
much. Yes, we love them so much that we decided we're devouring
cartoons because that's what we do with most types of popular media. Yes.
Yes, we do consume them in mass quantities.
We see a thing, we like the thing, and we go get in my brain
and stay there. No, don't get the Smurfs. They can go. Get something else in there.
No, provided you're not like drowning them in Mai Tai. That can happen.
That can happen. Or hurricanes.
What's it?
Or hurricanes, and I'm talking about the drink.
Or rum runners.
And
I'm not talking.
We're just
about
raging alcoholics, aren't we?
Sadly,
we're high functioning alcoholics, I guess.
Except for tonight, I don't have anything. I'm totally dry, and it's honestly a fucking bummer, man.
Well, let's since there's this rare occasion where we're both sober.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, why are we wanting to talk cartoons? Well, for this will be the third annual Nerd Playoffs that we are doing this year. Even though we started like 5 years ago and we're just now getting to our third, so math is hard.
I don't know. The last playoffs took about a year, so if we keep going at that rate, we'll be caught up like damn. Well, yeah, we won't. We won't be caught up.
No. Last year, the action movie playoffs, the Nerd Playoffs were action movie themed, and yeah, that took like a good chunk of the summer. So we decided we're gonna torment ourselves, or I'm gonna torment myself a little more.
Yeah, you're editing the shit. I just kind of bail off into a microphone for a little while.
Well, that's why you're here, and that's why I love it, because you get to share your opinion. I'm sure people are tired of hearing my shitty ass all the time.
I don't know.
So, anyway, here we go. We're talking about... Oh, you... fucking...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good thing you ain't Pinocchio.
At least there'd be something impressive about me if that were the case.
All
right. Yes.
All right, so yeah, cartoon playoffs. Here is how we're doing it. Last year with the action movie playoffs, we got a little bit of crap because why is it Bloodsport in the playoff, or why isn't this movie, or why is I'm like, that's kind of a valid reason to gripe, but
yeah,
if it's such a popular movie, why didn't it get in with anybody else?
Yeah. Well, it was based off of multiple votes, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Like the movies with the highest amount of votes got into the overall bracket, and then it was a head-to-head matchup after that.
I meant to say multiple suggestions. Like any movie that was suggested more than once, more than likely made the bracket.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And like, or at least made the list for nomination to get onto the bracket. Bloodsport, nobody suggested it.
So, except for the one guy that was whining, but I guess
except for the one guy who was whining about it, and it was actually a valid point because Bloodsport probably should have at least gotten a mention.
But it didn't get mentioned, so it didn't make the bracket. That guy was too fucking late.
Yeah, yes, he was. So my biggest defense towards all that is basically, if you think so highly of this particular movie, do you actually see it making it to the second round, or making it all the way to, say, the quarterfinals, or even the semifinals? And I think I'm pretty positive I'm pretty confident to say that no, Bloodsport would not have made it as far as like some of these other. I have the old bracket like on the floor there. I can see like half of it, like Die Hard and Aliens. No, it wouldn't have made it past those guys.
Like Bloodsport, even as far as niche movies go, is still very much cult within that subset.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
sorry, Mr. Bloodsport, but maybe you know this. In Bloodsport, there's no second fucking place.
Very well put.
Thanks.
So, how are we going to Illuminati?
The Illuminati? Where?
Oh, boy. Maybe I need a drink. So, how are we going to rectify that this time around? I've decided what we're going to do is have a multitude of heat races. Corey, you familiar how a heat race happens?
No.
Like, say, in the Olympics.
I only know what hot flashes are, but not heat races.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't suffer that unless it's coming from your oven behind you.
Menopause.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. When does menopause happen?
About our age.
About our age, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're still not physically capable of experiencing it, right? Like biologically capable?
Speak for yourself, buddy.
So, okay, all right, let's just go ahead and share our experiences.
You don't have man boobs. Oh my God, where is this going? Oh,
and you just became a GIF.
Yeah. God help me. That'll get people to watch our YouTube channel. That's for damn sure. Anyway,
you want to watch our host feel himself up?
Please,
click
just
that
turn
like,
on a camera.
Subscribe, and comment.
I will touch myself for every like this video gets. It's going to get 50 likes now. And he's done. Bye, Corey. Oh, God!
Okay, let's actually do a podcast.
Why start now? All right,
sorry.
so I was telling you how we're doing it this year with the cartoon TV series. That is what the theme of this year's Nerd Playoffs is going to be.
Right.
What is your favorite nerd series? Or what's your
series.
favorite cartoon TV series? Thank
Hey.
you. My God.
The people are following. It's all right.
Yeah. All right, so how we're going to do this is it's going to be broken down into heats. We've basically broken up the entire series into 6 individual sections. They are the classic era, 80s, 90s, cable era, modern era, and anime. I think whatever show, animated series you could think of could fit somewhere in that section.
Is this why you've been like consuming the anime over the last couple of weeks?
No, I've been consuming the anime because I'm actually finding some great anime and I want more, because a lot of the shit I'm finding is only one season.
Oh,
that's driving me nuts.
Yeah. That's the otaku's lament when it comes to that shit. Especially oh, go ahead.
It's either one season or it goes on for like 30 some odd years. It's driving me nuts.
Oh yeah, fucking One Piece. One Piece, Gintama, I think Bleach is still going. I don't know. Those are.
I don't know how long Bleach has been on, but I know shows like Dragon Ball's been on since like the early 80s. With like a 15-year break in there, but still.
Well, that's Dragon Ball's a lot like Lupin, where there's like a series and then it stops and then another series and then it stops and then it becomes a whole lot of other spin-off series involving the same characters. That's
a very good example. Thank you for
madness.
that.
It is fucking madness to Dragon Ball. It's worse than Lupin, actually. Come to think of it. But anyway, continue. Yes.
No, you're doing great. So I was looking at some of the series that we started make lists for. And I was thinking, oh man, we're going to come up with like 1,000 different lists for the 80s. And yeah, we don't have 1,000. I'm looking at the list over here. But, name like a couple of series, Corey.
From the 80s?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Snorks, Kissy Fur, Smurfs, the Raccoons.
The Raccoons. Oh, we don't have that one on the list.
Fucking love the Raccoons. I don't even know if it was good. Have you seen any cartoons from the 80s recently?
Yeah.
A lot of them are pretty fucking bad.
That's going to be our topic for later on.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll touch on that in a little bit.
There's one show that, like, this is funny because, like, once a year I'll remember it. Because I love the character and, like, mech designs in it, or the aesthetic. I like the aesthetic in it, and it's very unique. And I haven't seen anything like before it or since then. But it's about like a family of hillbillies that drive drag racers, but the design and the characters all look like they came from an old Home and Family Journal illustration. I don't know.
Huh.
I think that at some point you're gonna like pop a little frame down here, and I'll look it up after we're done with the podcast. But that's one of those things that like once a year I have to look it up, and I always forget the name of it. It just goes away after like a week.
Yeah, let me know if it comes to you. It's not ringing any bells with me.
I used to draw those. Well, I used to draw a lot of Saturday morning cartoons, like pretty much all of us, I think.
Oh yeah. Question: where would you put Beavis and Butthead?
You're talking about distinguishing between 90s and cable era, aren't you? Because I was about to ask about that.
Yeah.
Where to put Beavis and Butthead? Usually when you see people mention it, they always file it away under "you might be a 90s kid if." So I think of it as a 90s thing. I mean, if you used to watch that at the same time you used to watch Ren and Stimpy, Duckman, other shit like that, then I'd say, yeah, it's 90s.
Okay. Yeah, I did put it at 90s. It's like entry number 21. So and Duckman's in there too.
Hey, hold the fuck up though. All of those were on cable.
This is true. It was really hard to decide because the 90s was the time that cable started airing cartoons and you weren't seeing them so much on Saturday morning TV. I think, Saturday morning cartoons died in the 90s because of cable. Mm-hmm. So I guess the best way to think of it is the cable era is anything from, say, 98 till 2009, somewhere in like a good 10-year span.
Okay. But those three cartoons were very early 90s. Saturday morning cartoons were still a thing up until maybe 1999? No, because we were watching Ultimate Muscle back in 2003.
Oh, that's on, that was syndicated, right? On
Saturday
Fox?
morning. That was on Fox Kids.
Yeah.
And it was localized by 4 kids. Stink bugs. No, man, that's a turd. That's feces. Stink bugs.
Oh, God.
Fucking, I miss that show. That was such a good tune.
That
Even
was
the
a
jacked
great
up
show.
localized version of it was great.
Let's see. I think Jay put Ultimate Muscle under cable era, and I would probably agree with that. It's more of less of the long. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's like which way? We'll figure that part out. But
should we leave this up to the Vox Populi?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Get us on the Twitter, the Twit machine at Cretans Guild, and leave a comment or do it in the video below.
Right. If we were a more popular YouTube, we'd be like throwing the question out to you because this is a conversation and not just a show. That shit. Anyway, not that I'm taking shots at anybody intentionally because I'm not really. The YouTubes that we reference, we watch. So, it's not like we're being like, hey, you suck, and we're biting off of your gig.
And we're still going to watch it tomorrow, too.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
But anyway, let's talk. Backtracking a little bit, the heats. So what I'm going to do is, depending on how many entries we get, I'm going to split it up into, say, a section of 4. Mm-hmm. And just, like, give them different colors, like the blue, the green, whatever, and have, let's say, 10 entries in the blue. I'm going to have everyone vote and the top. None of this is in stone yet because we're still feeling it out. We'll probably get all of this really moving at the end of March.
Oh God, one of my ears fell off. Okay, go ahead.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you don't want. That's leprosy right there. Is what that is.
Ugh.
I think you need some more lemons.
What causes leprosy? You don't get enough vitamin C or something?
No, isn't that scurvy?
Oh, that's scurvy. Yeah, that's another one of those pirate diseases.
Yeah, both don't sound appeasing in any way.
Nah.
And you're skinny enough as it is. Don't lose any more anything.
I'll try not to.
So
now,
anyway,
now that you said that, you know what I really want to do is like the next time we do like an on-camera podcast like this, I want to have like a science class skeleton with a fucking Bob Ross wig stuck in it and a pair of glasses, and then do it like the robot that used to be on the Craig Ferguson show.
Jeff,
yeah.
Jeff with a G. God, I miss Craig Ferguson.
That was solid entertainment.
So anyway, how we're going to do the heats is, like, say the top 4 votes from the blue section move on, the top 4 from the green section move on, and then we'll just keep narrowing down the heats till we'll have about 3 left, and those final 3, they go in to the overall bracket. Okay. So today, one of our topics we're going to talk about today, Corey, let's talk anime, because you are the man to talk about anime. You have introduced me to some stellar shows over the last couple of months. And
not that many involving too much secondary liquid animation or tentacles.
This is true, because some of that does not count. I still don't know what the fuck was going on Eon Flux. What?
Is that technically anime? Oh, that's another topic. Never mind. That's something else. That's
well, you mentioned Liquid Television. That was the first thing that came to mind.
Liquid Television, which was, hey, 90s or cable?
You know, it was during the 90s, and it was on MTV, so it's kind of a...
It predates Beavis and Butthead.
I guess, well, Beavis and Butthead started on Liquid Television.
Yes.
So, I would say, if it was up to me, which I have about 80% say in it, I would say 90s. Because it has more of a... Oh God, that was back in the 90s. It has a 90s vibe and feel to it. So yeah, I would say 90s, easy.
And half of the people that you knew that watched it for all the Japanimation.
It's really bad. Whatever. I'm sorry, that show was not. A lot of it was
stunning. Are you kidding me? Like Liquid Television, I think was the gateway drug for a lot of assholes our age.
You see, I don't remember a whole lot of it. I just remember it was like, what the hell is going on? What is this? This. I think maybe I was just too young for it, or I just wasn't open-minded enough for it. I'm not really sure.
I can remember the first, and not counting like the flying house and shit. That's off the radar. I mean, I can remember like the first, like that style of animation that I saw ever, because it was just like so. It had such a fucking like a craterous impact. It was, I don't know what the name of it was, but I remember that it was like very. It was very had a very cyber futuristic aesthetic to it, and it was about a race, like think F-Zero style. And the one guy, the lead character, I guess by the end, I still don't know really what happened in it. I have to assume that the guy won somehow before he died, which it looked like at the end he might have died. Anyway, everything was like so fluid, and the shading was just so meticulous that it couldn't not sear itself into your brain. And being that I was like going through the animation phase at the time and, you know, tracing shit on index cards and making flip books and stuff, that was like, put that shit in a syringe and stick it into my tear duct right fucking now. That stuff was intense. And then, you know, anime happened right afterwards.
Yeah, that Liquid Television was probably like you said, a gateway drug for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, now your friends were like, yeah, but have you seen Overfiend? And then you watch that, and you're like, I'm swearing off of anime for the rest of my life. Thanks a lot, pal.
I haven't heard of that one. Maybe I shouldn't have heard it.
It's something that high schoolers show each other, at least back in the day. It's just, yeah, you thought like tentacles and stuff were bad. Holy crap.
Oh, it's one of those.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, I'm looking at the listing for Liquid Television. It doesn't look very... organized, I guess is the word I would use. It seems very random. It's like, oh, I was into this particular show, but it wasn't on this episode. It's on like 3 episodes later type deal.
Yeah. You mean like trying to pick out certain segments, or because it was an anthology? Excuse me, but it wasn't a good one. Don't worry about it.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh god, that sucked too. Never mind. Just
Stick Figure Theater, John Wayne in Angel and the Bad Man. Okay, some of these I'm gonna have to just look them up again. They have the weirdest name. Dangerous Puppets. Okay. Weird by Dr. Phillips.
I think I remember that one.
Huh.
But they were also talking about like reviving it. Sometime
Or bringing
in the
it
last
into
year,
like modern day.
Yeah, they were talking about like, because it's just shorts, right? These are just festival pickups from like Spike and Mike and shit. But I thought they revived it for like about 6 months back in the early 2000s as well. Maybe even like the later 2000s.
Let's see. Oh yeah, in 2014 they brought it back for 2 episodos.
No.
And
way to give it the old college try.
Well, I mean, it was on MTV. Well, I don't know if it was on. Oh no, it was online. So right there, yeah, you have
because that works so well for the critic too.
That's we don't talk about that series. Not the series in whole, just the online version.
Yeah, I was gonna say I talk about that series a lot. Just
I'll talk the ABC and Fox version all day long, without a doubt.
Correction. Since I haven't been on since the podcast that we had Miles on, as it turns out, yes, you can get the critic on DVD, all seasons, and it's like $11. So apparently, I'm like extremely fucking wrong.
It happens.
Yeah,
you know, a lot. There's been times where it's like I was positive about something. I mean, hell, a recent video, I go to Universal with Michael, and it's like, oh no, that ride's closed. Oh, this is all going to be going away real shortly. That show, they're not doing anything on that show, but they have times on their marquee. You know what? I think it's still open. So you know, it happens.
How could you not know that though? It was so obvious.
I know.
Jeez,
we didn't do it.
Fucking disgusted right now.
He was begging me to go on that. I was like, no, we're not. No, we don't have time for this.
Which one was it? What was
Animal Actors. He really wanted to go. It's like, we've seen it so many times, kid. They don't change the show.
I keep waiting for like one of the dogs to break character and like mount another animal.
I've seen one of them take a shit on the stage.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Lassie character.
Damn, that's worth a check plus.
Took a squat right there. It's like, okay, you do you, Lassie.
Well, it has to. Where the hell else is it going to go? They should have let that happen in the audience. That would have been great.
Just kids screaming. Ah! Lassie's doing something natural. Ah!
That kid's never seen a dog take a dump before.
Or she was really impressed. One of the two.
It was the size of itself. Anyway.
It was the size of another dog. Smaller.
What the hell were
We're talking anime. Of course, that's how we get on the dog's front shitting.
Oh my god. Okay.
Bring it back. Let's bring it back. All right, let's talk about some of the things. Corey, tell me about some of your favorite anime. Other than Lupin.
Other than Lupin, which, yeah, I guess that does not count.
No, it counts. It just, I want to hear something else.
Lupin's kind of more than an anime. When you consider it like in the total cultural framework, it's like their version of Bugs Bunny, but probably not their version of Disney. I don't really know what that would be. But that's like if I just say I'm into Lupin the Third, you're like, well, what the manga, the 4 fucking series that came afterwards, the line of cinema releases, the line of television movies that they've made. You into the slot machine? Yeah.
Yes.
You into the collectibles? You into the plushes? What the fuck are it? It's like it's an entity. So that's kind of why I'm not considering it. But
it's a franchise.
Exactly. If we're gonna say one of the series, probably the last one that came out, that was really good. Just anime. Top 10, I guess.
Top 5, top 10. Yeah. Let's hear it.
There. All right. Actually, let me make this reactive. What have been the last couple of animes that you've seen?
I can tell you right now, the last two that I watched was the first season of One Punch Man. Has there been a second season of that?
Nope. People
No,
asking
just
for
the
it.
one.
People are asking for it, which means they're not going to get one.
Yeah, I knocked that entire series out in one afternoon of just being lazy and a hurt foot. It's like, all right, well, you know what? This show's pretty good. Let's just leave it here for a little bit. And yeah, the show's great. I love that show. It's awesome. And another one, well, you did tell me about One Punch Man, but another show that you directly and nobody else told me about that I need to check out right away, Death Parade.
Yes. That was the biggest surprise in anime from the last few years, that one.
2013, I believe it came out. And just one season. And I love, absolutely, I mean, first off, the intro to the show. The intro is so mind-numbingly good. It's so out there. It's like, wow, if this episode is even half as good as this intro is, then I'm hooked. The song is catchy. It's been translated a couple of times. I guess it's like a little loose in the Japanese text or a little bit. Or people have put their own spin on it.
It's one of those things where like the lyrics are comprised of phrases rather than anything, sensical.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, the beat is awesome. It's a great song. I mean, I downloaded it the other day, and it's got a great guitar riff that doesn't make... Because the intro itself, it only takes like the first, 20, 30 seconds of the song. But it's like a good 3-minute long song, the whole thing.
Yeah,
and
it's a good tune.
It's a great, catchy tune. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And what's really great is when you hear it, you're like, wait a minute. Apparently, Billy Ocean has had some influence in Japanese music. Who would have known? Who would have thought? Sorry, yeah.
No, it's the concept of the show itself is basically, well, without spoiling it. Let's see, how can I talk about this without spoiling it? I guess you're the show is basically people who are in purgatory have to play bar and parlor games to determine whether they go to heaven or hell.
Yeah.
That's the premise of it. That's the first episode, and I was like, wow, that really ended that way. That was wild. That was dark. That was something else.
The first episode is like, it takes 0 fucking prisoners. It doesn't even let you in soft. It's just like...
It grabs you. It's like, all right, here, we're going. Come on.
It's like, yeah, you remember that peppy, upbeat, like, energetic intro? Guess what? That has nothing to do with this fucking show.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then, like, the second episode, they went a little behind the scenes to say, hey, this is what's really going on. You want to be a part of this? That kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it became like an emotional roller coaster towards the end of the season. It just went up and down. I was like, oh my God, where are you people going with this? Because I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah. And the worst thing
crazy.
about that was that they spent quite a bit of time like inviting the viewer into the infrastructure of the show, so basically, you're learning not just about like the principal characters that take up the front of the stage, but even all of the supporting characters and the roles that those supporting characters fill. And eventually, towards the end of the series, season, let's keep hope alive. Towards the end of the season, they're like hinting at a ton of backstory that they want to get to, but then it just cuts off.
Yeah,
just cuts the fuck off.
I would have loved to see some more backstory, especially on some of the supporting characters that we only see like 1 or 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
I would love to see some more stories involving them. I was like, because it feels like there's so much more that they're not telling us.
Yeah,
But
you bastards, fix it. So Death Parade is not just one of my favorites from the recent era of anime, but it is on my top 10 because it was so impressive. You'd gotten used to a kind of like there's an elevated quality to anime past a certain technological threshold, and I think that threshold came at around like FLCL, which also one of my top 10. So, but they're kind of like things that you'd expect given the modernity of other media like cinema and whatnot. Like Kill la Kill is very Tarantino-esque. What's another modern one that came afterwards? Space Dandy is like super duper fucking meta, but you kind of expected something like those to arrive. And Death Parade was like a complete ambush.
yeah, it definitely came out of nowhere. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah. So, you saw Death Parade. Anything else?
Yeah, there was another series. It's definitely not for everybody. I loved it, but it's I guess what you can call like a good afternoon tea series.
Okay.
Basically, it's a series that like after a really tough day at work or school or whatever you do for a living, and you just want to relax and de-stress. A really good series. It's called Restaurant to Another World.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. Okay,
It's definitely not an action-packed, high-intensity show. It's very creative.
Don't have to be.
No, absolutely not. That's what I love about anime. There's so many branches to anime. It just goes all over the place. And like I said, it's not for everybody. It's a very slow-paced show, but it's very soothing and relaxing. And I love food, and that show is all about food.
Oh, God, that was anime food porn, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, a little bit, yeah, because they name the episodes after the dishes that they cook on the show. Mm-hmm. Basically, what happens is once every 7 days, the front door of this Japanese restaurant, they don't really say, but it's a Western-style restaurant, they call it. Its front door opens into this land of fantasy every 7 days. So these characters, they walk in, it's like, what is this? This is an eatery. You want something to eat? Okay, here's a gold coin. Oh, and like everyone who takes a bite, I love this show. They have like this moment of euphoric bliss. Kind of like Ego when he took a bite of the ratatouille in Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does that. It's like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's toast? What is toast? Oh my God, it's so good. It's like every single bite, everyone is like that. Fried shrimp. Oh, that's interesting, huh? It's incredible to see their reactions. Oh my God.
It's toast? All right, give me a second. Sorry. That's great. Shit, what did you see that on? It's on VRV, so I'm gonna go
it's
guess.
on. I think I saw it on Crunchyroll, but yeah, VRV would have it as well
VRV
because
is basically just the entire thing, right?
I love Verve. That is such a great app. I love it absolutely. And I've noticed that if you watch it on the computer, you don't have ads. If I watch it on my Amazon or my phone or something, ads kick in.
Which is
so
weird.
That's like it's weird, but
it's odd because you pay for it on your mobile devices.
Well, I have a free account, so that's probably why I was seeing them.
Okay. That works. I didn't know there was a free account. Shit. No. I have the combo thing, so yeah, never mind.
See, I'm trying to figure out what's the benefit. Because if I watch it on my PC and there's no ads there, I think it's like a glitch. There's supposed to be ads, but they just never kick in.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, it's like, well, why should I pay for it if I'm getting it on... I think Verve is like, oh my God, people are watching this for free. We need to fix that.
Yeah. I don't know. Do your accounts, or does your free account include both Crunchyroll and Funimation?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because there's like a starter combo sort of a deal that they have for most for your paid subscription, and mine includes Shudder as well, which kind of like made it like a no-brainer for me because I was already paying for Shudder. And this is basically that plus two other things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think my Verve has Funimation, Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, like everything basically.
Okay. I see. All right. So those are the three that you've seen at least in recent weeks.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that I know One Piece, like OPM's like now one of the new classics. I haven't seen a single episode yet. So
well, I'm still a noob when it comes to anime. Well, not really. I mean, I've watched a lot of stuff. I just don't.
We've seen stuff before. You've seen Big O. I remember you were a huge Big O mark back.
Yeah,
in the day.
I love Big O. That was an awesome show. Everything about that was great.
Yeah. And you've seen the Bebop, of course, because I think like everybody and their mother has seen the Bebop, which is good.
Which they should. That should be
show.
like required.
That's like cultural tapestry. That show.
But some of the other really big ones like Full Metal Alchemist, One Piece, Attack on Titan, I've never seen any of those episodes. I'll check them out at some point, but Naruto, never seen it. I know lots of people love that, and Last Airbender, never seen a single episode. But, I'm still learning a lot of stuff.
Last Airbender. Now, that's another one of those questions, like does it actually count or is it a stylistic anime? Or stylistic animation? Because that was actually produced by M. Night Shyamalan. That's a local. That's a Continental production.
Are you thinking the movie or the series?
Both. He directed the movie, and according to what I've heard from most fans, subsequently ruined his own creation by doing so.
Really? I haven't heard that.
There's a lot of drama there if you want to get into it. I suggest you don't, but yeah, that's him. That came from the U.S., the Airbender shit. Well, if I had to run down,
I never knew that. You're absolutely right. American animated television series on Nickelodeon. For all this time, I thought that was anime. I guess it's that's a really good question. Is that anime or not? If it's in the same style, but it's not. Does anime have to be from Japan? Could it be from South Korea? Could it be from China? Can it be from anywhere else?
Here's a better question, or at least a more confusing one. If it's something like RWBY, and it's producer side United States, but off continent as far as production goes, what the fuck is that? Aside from boring.
Here's what I can tell you from Ruby. The first season, don't blink.
Uh-huh.
Like episodes 2 through 8 are 6 minutes long with a minute for both closing and opening credits.
Oh, jeez.
Basically, the second episode starts up, the music's playing, everything. The girls jump in, they say, "We fight monsters!" Roll the end credits. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah. When you suggested that one to me, I was like, all right, I might as well get schooled on this. And then I made my way into 2 episodes and was like, wow, that was 3 minutes each, 6 minutes of my life I'll never get back. I shouldn't feel that. That shouldn't be apparent to me, so I stopped watching.
That's one of those series well, maybe it's going to get better, because you could see the production value in the very beginning was really, really low. Yeah. And then through watching, I was noticing, they spent some more money. Oh, they spent some more money. Oh, the episodes are a little longer. Yeah. Oh, look, the background characters aren't just black silhouettes. They're actually people.
Yeah, but you know what other show did that?
The story just didn't get any better. That's the thing.
Yeah. Archer started out with, fucking bare-bottom production values. And it just kept better. It just kept getting better. The reason you stuck with it is because it was a good fucking show from the start.
Because it was written well. Yeah,
exactly.
That's the catch.
Yeah. So that show was able to stick around long enough to have fully animated CG car chases and shit afterwards. Whereas before, it was all just After Effects, flat scaling, and whatever the fuck else you got. What's going on over there?
I want to check, because I'm going to be very upset with myself if it's not on here.
Oh no, what happened?
I mean, I can put it on there now, but I can't believe it's not there. Archer's not on the list.
Oh, you mean on the... Oh, shit. Really?
I'm not seeing it unless it got put in a different category. Let me check the other categories.
It would be modern day. I mean, it started back in 2010 or so.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a ball to drop.
Jeez. I mean, I got Venture Brothers on there, which has done 5 seasons over 15 years.
Are they still making that?
I don't know. I really don't know. All right. Archer is now on the list. I can't believe that. And I put it under modern day. So, there we go. We got another show on the list.
How dare you?
You know what?
I haven't even seen the list.
Jay threw in a couple of really good suggestions on there, like Teen Titans Go, Star Wars Rebels, and a couple other shows I never heard of. OK, KO, Let's Be Heroes.
Nope. Don't know that one.
You don't know that one? Voltron, Legendary Defender, the Netflix series.
Wait, he suggested that?
No, I think I put that one on there,
I was going to say, he's quite vocal about not liking that series for some reason.
Well, that's his loss then, because that's an awesome show.
No, there's some people don't like something, but then there are some people that are they don't like this, and you must know about that, and that because apparently they don't like it that much. That's one of his I don't like that much shows.
Well, then he's wrong, because Voltron's awesome.
No, I mean, there's nothing about wrong or right about it. It's just that I was kind of amazed that he would have thrown that on there, but he did.
Yeah, I thought he'd be all over that. I guess, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, hey, it's also Americanized anime. Sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. I like the show.
Yeah, but if it's a good show, I mean, who cares how it looks if it's well written? I think it's one of the best shows on Netflix, and that includes like Stranger Things and everything else.
Am I willing to go that far? Yeah, actually, I think I am. It's a pretty damn good show. I've been rewatching it actually, so that's not even that's
Voltron or Stranger Things?
Oh, Voltron. That's not even a good question. So yeah, all right. So that's on there. What I'm saying is that I would have been amazed if he had suggested it, which is why.
No, I'm pretty sure I put that on the list because we were both compiling stuff. I'd throw some stuff on, he'd throw some stuff on. Mm-hmm. I actually went to like some website that not Otaku, I think it was IDBM and a couple others, and I cross-referenced like what they had, like the top 100 animes in their opinion, and I cross-reference like, okay, they have these shows in the top 25, and they have these shows in the top 25. All right, so I just started inserting shows left and right. It's like, oh yeah, it's like Death Note. Never seen that, but hey, I know a lot of people love it, so that's on the list.
Yeah, there's like a lot of marquee series on there that I've never even seen. I was about fixing to rectify the Full Metal Alchemist one like pretty soon. There's a couple of other series that I want to put in the can before that. I finished. And I don't know if this is the correct pronunciation, but Kakegurui, I guess.
Oh, that show, yeah. I'm going to say whatever.
Yeah.
Usually the way you pronounce stuff irks me a little bit, but I don't... irk is going too far. I notice when you pronounce certain things a certain way. That one, have at it. That one's yours.
I don't even fucking know. And as a matter of fact, I'm not like even going to recommend like that one to too many people because it's a very specific kind of thing, and that specific kind of thing can't be watched in mixed company. So
that's a show on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it was a Netflix exclusive.
Tell me about that one before I get into it.
Okay.
Are you trying to find a way? It's like, all right, how do I describe Death Parade?
All right. It's got a little bit of battle royale in it. Strangely enough, a little bit of Harry Potter in it because there's like schoolyard politics involved. The basic premise of it is that it's a private academy. There's a social case defined by a person's or a student's success in gambling. So after class hours, there's a lot of gambling going on. And then a strange and mysterious student shows up, because you got to keep a good trope, who like upsets the balance of this social case. Doesn't quite threaten it, but turns it on its side a little bit. And then somewhere in between all of that, there's a lot of jerking off going on, like quite literally. So, so it's like almost a hentai, but really only the worst parts of a hentai. I don't know. It's crooked as hell. And I'm not gonna say it's crap, because in terms of themes, I think elsewhere I described it as like a Blake Edwards and Tony Scott had a baby that they dropped on its head too much. So it's got there's value there. There's some pretty interesting value, and I would say to certain people, yeah, you should definitely check it out. It would totally be your thing, but fuck me, man, you're not going to be using it to win any like quality arguments about the state of animation or the industry or anything like that. Like,
okay,
you're gonna be
it's for a audience, but not all audiences.
Not all audiences, no.
Okay.
And it also cops out at the end, because, anime series have to cop out on the last episode. Fuck you, guys. Is there, any anime series that hasn't, just completely gypped viewers on the last episode?
Oh.
Because they always condense
whenever someone says final episode in anime, and I can't help but think of Cowboy Bebop, and it was like, oh, God.
Well, that one still hit hard, and the pacing was consistent enough up till that point where you would expect that the end of the series would be wrapped up in about 30 minutes from a completely disassociated origin, right? But there are so many series that are like, okay, we're going to condense this much backstory into 30 minutes of the second to last episode, and then the last episode is just going to be a lot of yelling, and then it ends.
Yeah. Series like Cowboy Bebop, you basically have to you have to clean yourself up after it ends. And I'm talking about, like, clean yourself up off the floor. It's like, oh, God, it ended that way? Okay. Didn't see that coming.
I couldn't exactly expect it to end any other way, though. It had a very fatalistic tone throughout, for the most part. I mean, if you're making a show that's that inspired by the nihilism of classic film noir and French film, there's no real way to put the end at the end of it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be a
if you put a question mark at the end of that, then it's like,
yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Most of these series end on question marks. Like I recommended another anime to you a couple of weeks ago called Erased, because I guess Netflix did like a live action version of it, and it kind of reminded me. And it's great. It's like super. It's like it is actually. It's a lot like an M. Shyamalan movie. You know, ones that aren't awful. And at the end of it, everything like wraps up in a nice tidy bow. And that's even after like sacrificing, like taking a huge chance in the narrative up till that point. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy is like all of a sudden forgiven and shit. He's awful. What? There's no, the causality is fucking, it's schismed.
It's silly.
In a word, yeah. But there's other stuff like that. Fucking Hellsing, the original Hellsing was a retarded ending too.
But awesome theme for that show.
Oh yeah, it was an awesome theme, of course. Like the music and the animation, character design, all that shit was great. And I love that they modeled it after a particular like type of camp. But even the ending of that was like, oh okay, I guess the whole organization just kind of explodes, and then, oh, those are credits.
Yeah.
Right there. Anyway, all right, so. You've been waiting like 30 minutes for a top 10.
Yeah, just rifle it off. Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, Golden Boy is going to be sitting at, I'm going to say at least somewhere in the top 3. It's that one meant a lot. And not because it was like outrageously perverted. It was just one of the anime that got me into anime. After like, you know, my other like horrible friends tried to, showed me all that like awful stuff back then. Cowboy Bebop, FLCL, that's 3. Let's do Excel Saga. Excel Saga's on there, number 4.
Okay.
That's one I keep wanting to recommend to you, but I'm not quite sure it's aged all that well. So I might just say watch the last episode. Maybe that'll do it. Fucking classics. What do we got? Death Note 5. Death Parade 5. Next to that, there's...
Was it you that was telling me about Steins Gate?
No.
No, okay.
No. Heard it, don't know what it is. So maybe that's got to go on the to-do list. There's already a pretty hefty laundry list involved with this shit. And it's like, you know, I've only got several years to live.
I'm already giving 10 hours a week to wrestling. What more do you want from me?
We're giving too many hours to fucking jobs.
Without a doubt.
Backseat. I mean, you know, priorities and all. That's 5. I know there's got to be like a giant robot thing somewhere on there, and maybe a couple of like slice of life animes. Eden of the East.
Oh, okay.
Which, thank goodness, that didn't end improperly, because there was the series, and it was huge. It almost ended like, you know, it was almost a cop out, but then they put out like 2 or 3 other movies afterwards that wrapped all of it up. Considering that, Eden of the East.
Is Trigun on your list?
Trigun is on my list. Yes, it is. Even though that ended like a dog's dick as well.
What, buried in the sand?
Yeah. No, it's just disappointing, and you don't want to see it anyway. Make of that metaphor what you will. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, Trigun's on there. What else? Some early days stuff. Is there anything? Oh, Space Adventure Cobra. That's a recent inductee, though. It's considered to be a classic anime because it was like early 80s style stuff.
Okay.
But it was kind of like it's kind of like somebody took Total Recall and then continued it past the plot terminus. So this guy kept trying to barrel through this conspiracy and whether or not he's actually, you know, this hard-ass secret agent, or if everything is taking place inside of his head. Also, hellaciously great setting and background design. Anyway, sorry. That will be number 6. 4 more?
If you can. You don't have to.
if I can, and I want to.
I mean, if anybody can, I know you can.
Because it's all like action adventure up to this point. I know I'm not that narrow, at least when it comes to this crap. But fuck me if nothing's coming to mind right now. All right, we're gonna have to leave it off at 7.
That's fair enough. I'm not expecting everybody to give me a list. I just want suggestions. Give me your and Corey, you just gave me some really good suggestions. Eden of the East, they're on the list now. FLCL, that's definitely on the list.
Yeah.
But we're not the only ones doing a tournament, by the way.
Really? Who?
Actually, I'm going to let Toby tell us some more as we go to break here. But basically, Toby, with the Secret Transmission podcast, is for the month of March doing a cryptozoology tournament. And I'm going to let Toby tell you some more. Take it away, Tobes.
No shit.
Hey, this is Toby from the Secret Transmission podcast. I just wanted to let you know about our cryptid tournament that we're having all March long. It's called Monster Madness. So we have 8 different cryptids. Some you may recognize, some you may not recognize. All you have to do is like Cryptid Crate on either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and then tell us which of the 8 cryptids that are in this tournament you think will win. That's it, and you're entered, and you have the possibility of winning a free Cryptid Crate. That's usually $60 to $70 worth of items, and you will win it absolutely free. But if you're interested in purchasing a Cryptid Crate, you can go to cryptidcrate.com and use our promo code SECRETPOD, and you'll save 20% on your first purchase. So if you like cryptozoology, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, the Mothman, Chupacabra, whatever, you may find it in these crates. So come check out our tournament and check out cryptidcrate.com.
We hope you are enjoying our discussion about anime. We will break for the moment here, and then Corey and Bob will continue next time. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, or leave a rating on your favorite podcast player. I'm Bridget, and on behalf of the Cratons, to all our followers, new and old, we say welcome to the guild.
Shit, Gimli, shit. Good dog.